On the other side of this, for the built environment, this has been around for about 5 years or so. There's this thing called an independent data layer. It's basically a database, but as you ingest data from your BMS, your IWMS, your digital twin, wherever your data is located, as you ingest it, you're actually creating a structured set of data or a database that has been translated into a single language, right? So even though your CMMS and your IWMS are talking two very different languages and they do very different things, when you bring that data into the IDL, it's now brought together in a meaningful, structured way. And that's what an IDL is. An IDL thinks about all of the data that you have for the built environment. It can translate all those different languages and data sets into a structured database. And now as a client who owns that data, so it's your independent data layer as the client, presumably it's your whole building, your floor, of a section of the floor, but it's still your data. You now have the opportunity on who you get to share it with. So do you want to share it with an ESG service provider, with an energy service provider, with whomever, so that they then can provide the work result back to you? And think about that for a second. If you're somebody that does energy audits, it's going to take you 6 months of fighting to get the data that you need to generate your work result. It may be more, I don't know, right? But if a client has an IDL, all they have to do is go, yes, we want to hire you. And now you can take 50% of your fee out because we already have the data. We'll turn it on tomorrow. And I'm assuming in just a couple of days, you can hand me back my energy audit or whatever that might be. So that's the value of an independent data layer versus a data layer. Let your head run forward for just a little bit. When we think about local law 97 in New York, and we start thinking about decarbonization and reporting, and we think about the new reporting standards that are happening in Europe from an ESG perspective, when we think about well building and all the reporting and benchmarking that can be done there, those can now be automated, assuming you have the right data in the independent data layer. So I don't want to harp on independent data layer too much, but it's really important for us to have an understanding of number one, how do we solve the data problem from a built environment perspective, right?
Just, Joel, just to circle back, that's what I was getting to on the last time I was on the mosh pit. Like, we can talk about AI all day, every day. It's not going to happen without this independent data layer.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.